Hi everybody, welcome to another video. And today we're doing a video about family heirlooms. Alright. Now when you think of family heirlooms, you typically think of something of value, something sentimental, something like a piece of jewelry, a ring, a necklace, a bracelet, something that's been passed down from generation to generation, kept in the family, and things like that. Well, one of the things that you could consider a family heirloom are knives. And many moons ago, I did a video on this particular knife. And this knife was my father-in-law's. And when he passed away, my mother-in-law gave this to me because I was kind of into knives back then. So I did a video called "A Knife from Great Man," and my father-in-law is from Laos, and he came to this country like many other Laotians after the Vietnam War, and made a life here in America, raised a substantial family, all who are doing well now, and he worked very hard. Him and his wife worked very hard and made a success in this country. Okay. So anyway, I made the video about this knife. This knife was made by Sheffield, and the country of origin for this knife, I believe, is China, and it is Chinese stainless steel. And I did this video, the video on this knife in conjunction or comparison to the Buck 110, which is basically the original buck knife, if you want to say that. The original, the authentic American-made buck knife. Okay, so and a buck knife is buck. That's the name brand, buck. Okay, so I made a comparison, and quite honestly, the Buck 110 is definitely more refined, better built, fit and finish way better. Also, it's much tougher. I've put this knife through the ringer, and everything is still tight. Everything is still just, great. Now, I'm not gonna say that this knife was used harder than this knife, because I'll be honest with you, my father-in-law was a avid fisherman, avid outdoorsman, and you can tell that this knife was used. It was not just carried around. So there is wiggle. You can hear it. And so, I mean, it's just, but it's a working knife. It still works. You pull it out of your pocket, it still locks, and you get to working. Do whatever you have to do with this knife. And if you're good at sharpening your knives, this knife will work as good as this knife, and vice versa. Okay? Anyway, let's talk about something that was given to me recently. I went down to where my mother-in-law's house was, and she was rummaging through some more stuff, and she came across this little thing here, and let's talk about this. All right, so in this little belt pouch, this belt pouch is not important, and but this stuff was in that belt pouch. Okay, so let's go over each one. Now this is from Cabelas, And this is something I gifted to or gave to my father-in-law a couple of years back. And I was in Cabelas, and I thought this was pretty interesting. And I bought this. I think this was, I don't know, about $5 or $6. It wasn't very expensive at all. I thought it was pretty cheap, so I just bought it and gave it to my father-in-law. Okay, and evidently he kept it in this little belt pouch, and he wore it on his belt along with these two knives. All right, so I'll go over everything here that he has. This is a Stockman pattern. It has your typical okay, this one's not coming out. Okay, there you go. It's a little stiff on the action. This is made in Pakistan, all right, and I believe this is. Let me see what brand this is. Well, it doesn't have a brand. It just says Pakistan. All right. So, is it? It's, as you can see, inside it's a little rustic. But as you can see, the blade has been used, and a lot of people don't know, but these little knives are very much used knives. They're not for just charm. People used to carry knives like this all the time, and get a lot of use out of small knives like this. These little peanut-sized knives. But anyway, it's pretty worn and a little rusty. I don't know if that's rust or just dirt or whatever, but you know, I'm not going to restore this, not because it's not worth restoring or cleaning up. To me, this is showing character of the user. I mean, the person who used this knife obviously used it a lot, okay? And the fact that it is in the shape that it's in is because it was used, and I don't want it to lose its character. It has character now because it's been through all kinds of stuff. So, you know, I'm just gonna leave it like that and cherish the knife as is, and you know, try to honor what this knife or who this knife belonged to. Okay. And it's made in Pakistan. All right. Now let's go to this other knife, and this is, I believe, the little baby knife of this knife. Now I don't know if he got it together in a gift set or what, but obviously the sheaths have the same design, same material. Both knives shared the same pattern and materials. All right, and tiny little knife, and it has a lock back action to it. Little wiggle, not very tight, but a usable knife. You know, and small knives like this have a lot of purpose, just as much purpose as a big knife like this. All right, going back to the Cabelas, And this video is probably mainly gonna be about this here, Cabelas, and reason is it's pretty interesting. We have a lot of keychain tools now, multi tools on the market, made by Next Tool, Leatherman. Well, I don't know. I think Leatherman discontinued some of their models, but you know, you can find a whole different range of keychain multi tools, and I like this because it is one-handed, spring-loaded pliers, and for what I paid for it to give to my father-in-law, it's pretty much a bargain, because I thought it would be kind of really cheap, but in a way, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. You got the pliers, and let's go here and close this up. All right, and then you got the main blade. Okay, and let's see if that's sharp. Oh yeah. Oh, that's pretty sharp. Oh yeah, that's going through that leather. It's slicing up that leather pretty good. I mean, I would. Oh damn. I actually wouldn't mind using this in my leather work. Cutting leather. That's not bad. I don't know if my father-in-law sharpened this or not. It doesn't appear that he did, but that comes pretty darn sharp. Now, yeah. Oh yeah, that's sharp. Now these knives and tools do not lock. All right, so we got the main blade. We got a screwdriver. All right, screwdriver. Another tool here. We have a flat tip. And I guess you can use this also as a pry tool. Pretty sturdy. On this side we have, let me see, what do we have here on this side? Oh, nothing. Okay, let's go to the other side. We have a saw. Of all things. That's about the smallest saw I ever saw. That kind of rhymed. That is about the smallest saw I ever saw. Anyway, let's see if it actually saws, okay? But that's a thing of beauty, actually. It actually does saw, and as you can see, there's the sawdust, and it made a pretty clean. It made a pretty clean notch right there, and that's pretty. I think this would come very useful. Very useful. I think it will, because when you're doing tent stakes or something like that, you don't want to fiddle with something too big. This saw gives you a lot of control because it's so small, and you're just, gonna make a little notch, and yeah, it actually works. This saw is great. Okay, let's go to the next tool. We have I guess, bottle lifter. Can it be used as a can opener? Let me see. What do you think, guys? Maybe. I think so. All right. And the last but not least tool And surprisingly, scissors. Dang. Cabelas has outdone themselves. A real scissor and a keychain multi-tool that costs under $10. All right. So, oh, that's pretty good. It actually scissors paper very well, well as expected. I'm just by the little things that I've done here with this multi-tool, this keychain size multi-tool. I am convinced that this is a serious little pocket tool. Now the shape. I'm gonna say that this is not gonna be too pocket friendly because it's got all kinds of angles and points and this is an awkward shape. But I guess there's a reasoning for it. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I guess it's just a design that's not very. I don't know. It's kind of bulky looking, and the points. I don't think it's these points right here make it pocket friendly, and as you can see, it's not a very smooth exterior. So what I would probably do is look for a smaller belt pouch to carry this in, or I would carry it in a EDC pouch or a slip. I would make probably a little sheath or slip for something like this and actually carry it. It's a little heavy. And for something like this, you might want it a little heavy duty. I mean, you don't want a flimsy, lightweight thing that, you know what I'm talking about, those little keychain ones with the built-in flashlight and all that. And as soon as you go to use it, the whole handle or the frame bent. Oop, I bumped the camera. Whole frame of the handle bends, Well, this one here doesn't do that. You can tell this is pretty sturdy. So I'm pretty sure I paid under $10 for this, and that's a bargain. Even if it is around $15 or maybe even $20, I think this gives any Leatherman or any other multi-pocket keychain size multi-tool for their money. I love the saw. The saw is just awesome. Instead of a serrated blade, I prefer to have a saw. I mean, it'll take some time to saw through the whole thing, but isn't it great to make a notch like that, And let me see here. Let me go to this knife here and see if it'll really do some serious carving action here. Oh yeah, and this is pretty hard wood, by the way. It's not balsa wood or anything like that. This is wood. This is a spoon that I carved out of a tree branch. So this is pretty hard. This is not those balsa woods that people use to make wood sculptures with and do whittling with. This is hardwood from my backyard. All right. So yeah. So there you go. One tent stick notch made, and it has absolutely no trouble carving through this wood. And I don't know. I wish, I wish I knew, but I don't think my father-in-law sharpened this because it doesn't look like it has been sharpened. It has no scratch marks on the blade. I don't think he ever even used the knife this here, because there's absolutely no scratches on it. So it may have come this sharp out of the box. I'm very impressed with the saw, the blade, the scissors, and I'm sure the bottle lifter and the can opener or whatever and the screwdriver works just great. So if you're ever in Cabelas and you see this thing and you see it pretty cheap, don't be afraid to get it, because it works pretty decent. It's not a gimmick. It's a real thing. It's a real keychain size usable tool. All right, and I hate to be an Indian giver, but it did come back to me after having given it to my father-in-law. May he rest in peace. And maybe I'll keep this and give it to his grandchildren and keep the traditions going. These things are, cheap, inexpensive. They have no real value to anyone else. In the knife community, you'll get a lot of flack for having knives like this, made in Pakistan, made in China, and but the truth of the matter is, people who actually work with knives, people who actually use knives, people who actually work in a warehouse, work at the factory, work on the fields, people who work as a farmhand, ranch hand, these people don't make a lot of money, folks. Okay. And, they're not going to be able to afford, they're not going to spend their money unless they're into knives. Okay. As a hobby, they're not going to spend close to $80 or $95 for a small Stockman like this, okay, made in the USA. For whatever reason, why it's more expensive? Maybe it's because it's got a genuine bone handle, whatever, and this has synthetic handles and cheaper steel, and this has 1095 steel, and this is a stainless 440 steel, whatever. This might only cost, I don't know, maybe not even $10. Maybe like $5.99 or something like that. All right. And this costs $68. And when you're like a working man and you don't make a lot of money, which one do you think you're going to buy to carry in your pocket to use every single day? Right here, folks. I hate to say that, but you guys in the knife community who are into these expensive, exotic knives with exotic steels and all this and that, I hate to break the news to you guys. I respect you guys, and I respect your knowledge and your hobby, and I respect your opinions, and I am thoroughly entertained by your videos that you make of the knives that you guys obtain. They're pretty good knives. They're excellent knives. They're expensive knives, but at the end of the day, You know, made in China, made in Pakistan, all day long, folks. These are the knives that real working people use. And these are the knives that see more action than anything that's expensive. Okay? And here's another one. You know, it's made in China. Okay? And it says US on it, but, you know, it did. Knives like this are in toolboxes that get used every day. Okay, you're not gonna throw a $86, $90 Stockman made in the USA in a toolbox. You're not gonna have this laying around or in your pocket to use for whatever every single day, cutting up boxes or doing whatever, and risk losing this or damaging this. This, you get your hands dirty with. All right. So comment down below. Please subscribe and like. I am not proponent or in favor of buying Chinese products. I'm just stating facts. Okay. I have no bias whatsoever for either China or US made stuff. I prefer to buy USA made stuff, not because just the patriotic thing about it, which is very important to me, but it is in fact made better with better materials or authentic materials, and the fit and finish is better. Like this Buck 110. Okay, they're built pretty tough, built pretty nice. Okay, and if I had the money, I'd buy this. No, I would buy this. I wouldn't buy that. I would buy this if I had the money. But I'm talking about real people with real life issues. There you go. All right. Thanks for watching. Like I said, subscribe, please. And thanks for watching.